we talk about what regions have in their rookie backpack. I guess we have EU mids, Korean mids, I guess, but like Korean top laners is something insane. Does
Yeah.
NA have junglers? Like, is that the thing? Like, Svenskeren will kind of put him in a corner for now, but we have Inori, who isn't playing, Meteos, who isn't playing, Mike Young, Xmithy, Dardoch,
Contracts.
and contracts. So that's like, including two inactives, that's six pretty high profile or
Acadian.
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 I forget that Echo Fox is a thing sometimes. But like that's all right. So we're up to seven junglers.
Moon.
So we're up to seven good junglers, all NA talent, and pretty much all of them. Actually, all of them have played internationally now, right? Except for me.
Acadian, I don't think has.
Except for I was gonna say either Acadian or Dardoch.
Yeah, I don't think Dardoch has either.
All right, so that leaves us with five internationally weathered NA junglers, and they've all shown up at one point or another. Is this the NA jungle legacy? I guess is Mike Young the proprietor of what we're going to be seeing for the future?
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, I think that um, I think that the jungle position is one of the most impactful, if not the most impactful position in League of Legends. And to be able to, like, I think that to find a native North American jungler who doesn't take up an import slot, who's young, who is, at the start of their career and performing well out of the gate, as
And
long as they
humble,
have.
and humble as shit. The dude's crazy humble.
No, I don't care about humility. I don't care about humility.
Well, like, because then if you look contrasted, you have Dardoch, who, for all intents and purposes, is very not humble, and
Yeah.
take that as you will, depending on what you like. Listen to his teams, that can be very hard to work with. Whereas you
Yeah.
have Mike Young styling on top tier junglers, and he's like, I'm just gonna play my game, like I do me. Like that to me is not what I want to see, but I think it's fantastic from a player standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, for his success, that's good. For his longevity as a player, that's ultimately going to be valuable for him. And it can be valuable for an organization as well. I mean, I think that a certain amount of trash talk, a certain amount of bringing attention to the brand, and having a certain amount of like fire, but in your player is a good thing. For getting fans, getting brand recognition, that kind of thing. But yeah, as far as like if you want to contrast him with Dardoch, Dardoch's been kind of bouncing around. He hasn't had international experience, partially probably because of that. I think a lot of teams who have been unsuccessful in the past with Dardoch would cite him as a reason for their unsuccess. And that lack of success is directly impacting Dardoch's ability to play against some of the top junglers from around the world. Whereas Mike Young, he's put in his time in solo queue in the game. He gets recognized. He gets picked up by Phoenix One, who just happens to be going to Rift Rivals, and then he just blows the lid off of the whole tournament. Gets tons of media attention, tons of Reddit love. It's got to feel good to be that guy right now. And it will ultimately, his humility and his ability, as long as that humility translates into a team's ability to work with him, then that's a good thing, because those two don't necessarily go hand in hand. And trash talk and your ability to like mesh well with a team or work well with a coach don't necessarily go hand in hand. But if that translates for him into he's a humble guy, he's willing to take criticism from his coach and from his teammates, he's really willing to work with them and not feel like the game or his team revolves around him, then that can ultimately be a good thing for him.
Which you mentioned at the very start of this conversation, it very much well could revolve around him. He's the jungle. He's he's got the mid jungle proximity. He's got the top jungle proximity, and you can say what you will about his solo laners. I think Zig does very well on his champions, and then Ryu, we've seen him do it before. He can do it again. So I think having top tier jungle helps them out. And one of my biggest things in gaming is mentality. So even if some of the players start dipping like in their own heads, they can be like, wait, Mike Young's on my team. I know that if I ask him to help set me up, he's going to say, okay. And then he's going to do everything in his power to help me. So it's kind of like a believe in the me that believes in you situation.
Right.
And so I think that's the humbleness, the media attention, all of that is very good for this Phoenix One team. I think TSM has a crazy game on their hands coming up this week. And I do honestly think that this best of 3 comes Saturday, I believe, is going to be a better series than the best of 5 from Rift Rivals.
Very well could be.